What it do, guys? Your boy Jackson. Welcome back to another reaction. So today we're gonna react to another iceberg video for the boy Biggest because he is very obsessed with icebergs. So yeah, your boy just woke up from a nap, so my eyes look kind of like heavy because I woke up. All right, so let's go and check out the Family Guy iceberg.
Explained. Sup guys, Book of Alice here once again.
Hello.
In this video, we will be going over the Family Guy iceberg as you guys requested.
So this is for the boy Biggest. Very obsessed with iceberg. Once again, he loves icebergs.
While other entries are legitimately interesting. Either way, I'll be.
That's the only thing he watches on my channel. I still don't know how I feel about that actually.
Be sure to subscribe if you haven't. I post weekly and it really helps my channel grow. With everything out of the way, let's begin and see how deep the Family Guy iceberg truly goes.
The Sky. It's a TV show, same universe, Stewart created.
It's a TV show within a TV show. This entry is referring to the episode Pawtucket Pete, in which Angela, Peter Griffin's work supervisor, dies and two new bosses are hired at the brewery. Peter shows his disapproval of the two new bosses.
I watched some Family Guy episodes.
That is until he is subsequently demoted and forced to wear a red flag everywhere he goes, working as a signal.
So this is definitely one of the episodes I haven't seen. I know that.
He is then bombarded by cans and coffee cups as he walks by the cubicles. Instead of having a self-aware cutaway scene as Peter usually does, it is replaced by a brief cameo of the Simpsons characters Mr. Burns and Smithers, strangely enough, with Mr. Burns showing interest in Peter's perseverance, and Smithers informing him that it's just a character from another show. This one also covers the same universe as Simpsons and Futurama. There are multiple crossovers between the two
Futurama, R.I.P.
Futurama. The Simpsons and Griffins live within the same universe. There are also compilations of Futurama references within the Simpsons, and even a comic if you consider that canon.
The Simpsons,
are all three shows
Futurama
in the same universe? Could Family Guy be a reality television show in the Simpsons world?
They're not in the same universe. I'll say they're like different
this
dimensions.
Entry is referring to the episode in which Stewie goes back in time to embarrass Brian.
Like different
While
Earths.
fighting over the time machine control panel, they accidentally hit the wrong buttons and go all the way back to before the inception of the universe itself, appearing in a void of nothingness outside the space-time continuum. In order to go back to the original timeline, Stewie has to overpower his time machine enough for it to blow up and work. When he overpowers his machine, it creates a Big Bang, alluding to Stewie being the creator of the universe itself through the machine blowing up.
Big Bang.
If you don't know what the Big Bang is, in short, it's described as the hypothesis that states that all of the current and past matter in the universe came into existence at one time, roughly 13.8 billion years ago. At this time, all matter was compacted into a very small ball within an infinite density,
and the Earth was created and other planets.
The singularity. Suddenly, the singularity began expanding.
Basically, at first there was nothing. Just a black hole. That was pretty much it.
The multiple scenes in the show in which Stewie displays homosexual tendencies. He enjoys looking at naked men. He hints that he has weird desires for Brian and even describes himself as possibly homosexual. Seth MacFarlane, the creator of Family Guy, even stated Stewie will be gay or a very unhappy, repressed heterosexual. It also explains why he's so hellbent on killing his
There was an episode
and taking over the world. He has a lot of pent-up aggression, which
future
comes from confusion and uncertainty about his orientation. There was even going to be an episode that was going to revolve around Stewie coming out of the closet, but it only went as far as the script phase.
But it's cool though. I really don't care if Stewie is gay or whatever.
This one explains itself. There are numerous crossovers and it's produced by the same person. If you don't know, it's Seth MacFarlane.
American Dad. Yeah, oh yeah, American Dad and Family Guy are definitely in the same universe for sure. But as for the Simpsons and Futurama,
okay, so this one was pretty hard to find. But apparently, the theory goes that an ex-boyfriend of Meg's got her pregnant before very conveniently skipping town. With the help of Brian, Lois covered the whole thing up by pretending that she was the one that was pregnant. And when Stewie was born, she passed him off as her son, and not Meg's. The only people that know this truth are Lois, Brian, and Meg. Peter is too dumb to figure it out, and they could have easily convinced Chris that it was something else, and he would have simply believed them. Whenever Lois is shown giving birth to Stewie, it's in cutaway scenes from Stewie's perspective. We never actually see it happen. Stewie would logically assume that the woman who they claim is his mother. Another piece of evidence in support is the episode Partial Terms of Endearment. In this episode, we get a strange scene in which Lois states, "Come on, Meg, it was hard enough on your body when you gave birth to Stewie." She then nervously laughs and says that she was just Meg's baby. This is in reference to one of the episodes in the series in which we see a baby crawling out of Meg's locker. Meg proceeds to throw her book at it and states, "What are you doing out of your box?" revealing that she had a baby and is now hiding it from her family and friends. This bit was pretty dark for me, not gonna lie.
There's like a lot of dark
Quagmire
secrets
is bisexual.
for sure.
There was a lot of results for Peter is bisexual, but couldn't find much for Quagmire. This is probably related to the episode where Quagmire asks Peter to sleep with him.
Oh yeah, I remember this episode. Oh yeah, I remember this.
Due to Quagmire wanting a divorce. Though in the episode, Quagmire is the reluctant one.
Pretty much in that episode, he had to show the lady that he was with, Mary, to show that he is, gay or whatever. Just to get a divorce.
Peter seems to actually want to
which was funny, though.
That's a pretty funny episode overall.
It's a really good
Quagmire's
episode.
dad, at least 70 plus years old. Okay, so I knew about Quagmire's dad from the episode in which he sleeps with Brian, but I didn't know about the whole age thing. Apparently, an episode reveals Ida Davis, Quagmire's dad/mom, you'll get it if you watch the episode, is pretty old. A theory states, I did some research, and the first time Dan Quagmire appeared on the show was in season 8, which was in 2010, and he was around 61 years old. Which means today, Ida Davis is 70 years old. Glenn Quagmire is 61 years old at the moment, meaning Dan Quagmire got Glenn when he was 9 years old. Chris is adopted. Peter has suggested that Chris was adopted in the past, or at least hinting some sort of idea revolving adoption. In the 17th season, Peter stated that he came across Lois's gun in Chris's adoption paper, which means he was either adopted or thought of being put up for adoption by Peter and Lois at some point.
Below the surface.
The Boom is canon. The Boom is an episode featuring the Griffin family after a nuclear holocaust, saving themselves by hiding in the basement. All this due to Y2K on New Year's Eve. The family then travels in search of food and eventually decides to establish a town around a Twinkie factory. Peter then takes over the town, establishing himself as mayor, but eventually becomes power hungry and is overthrown. The episode ends with a live-action parody of Dallas, in which Pat Ewing, Victoria Principal, clad in a blue silk nightgown, wakes up and tells her husband Bobby, which is Patrick Duffy, about a dream she had of a strange episode of Family Guy. Bobby comforts her, but pauses and then asks what Family Guy is.
I haven't seen this. This was in '99.
And the camera.
You know, I was born in the '90s, but I was still a baby.
Not officially considered canon, some believe that it actually is.
No, in '99, I think I was like a kid. How old was I in '99?
In one of the episodes, we get a brief and subtle cameo from Lois. It occurs when Quagmire.
I don't think I discovered Family Guy when I was like a bit older.
As his nose caught scent of what turns out to be a new massage parlor that opened in town. As Peter, Joe, and Cleveland walk after Quagmire, the shot opens up to reveal Lois looking incognito in some pretty big sunglasses, coming back from some kind of romantic
with another man.
With a man she's apparently having an affair with. What do you guys think?
Bro, there's just a lot of secrets in Family Guys, right?
In the McFarlane universe. This one explains itself and is verified by the multiple clips of animations Seth MacFarlane has produced, also by the brief cameos of Mario and the Scooby-Doo gang in the Family Guy series. Bob's Burgers exists in Chris's imagination. This theory comes from a clip from a Family Guy episode in which Chris's parents are called into his school because of his poor academic performance. His principal then shows them a drawing Chris made and describes it as a horrendous advanced art project, holding a picture of Bob from Bob's Burgers, an American animated sitcom created by Fox. The series centers on the Belcher family, parents Bob, Linda, and their children, who run a hamburger restaurant.
I'm glad that showed it well.
Bob's Burgers universe all exist in Chris's mind.
Chris's
now
mind?
Let's move on to the shallow waters.
I don't know if South Park had Family Guy there. I know that they had. I know that they do.
This
they have
theory
the Simpsons.
off of the episode in which Peter has either alluded that he's a homosexual, or specifically the one where he takes the gay gene injection, which just straight up turns him gay. In the episode, he quickly finds himself a boyfriend and leaves his family willingly. He doesn't make any fuss nor annoys his boyfriend like he does to Lois,
I feel like I've seen this
that he has
one.
been homosexual all along. What do you guys think? Ernie fights Peter because he wants Lois. Ernie is a giant chicken that always seems to get into scuffles with Peter. He usually interjects scenes and gets into a long-winded fight with Peter, almost always ending in Peter winning. The whole feud began with Ernie giving Peter an expired coupon as revealed in the episode The Boom. However, in the Meeting the Quagmires episode, Griffin's meddling in his past allows him to accidentally punch Ernie while dancing at Enchanted Under the Sea. This entry on the iceberg alludes to the idea that the only reason Ernie fights Peter is because he wants Lois, though I can't find any evidence of this.
It's not. There's no. Cause I'm trying. Oh, I know I've seen it. I'm gonna have to watch it because it was something else. I know. It's probably. It might come back to me.
Drop it in the
But
comments
it's not
if you have any
Lewis
clips.
though.
Meg is a Russian
It wasn't
spy.
one of the episodes.
This is referring to an episode in which Meg is killed and replaced by a Russian clone.
There was a reason for it.
We get confirmation that she's a spy because of a scene that comes on of Meg speaking Russian on the phone to what seems to be a spy agency.
No, because I remember later on when Ernie and Peter were still fighting. I remember that one day they literally totally forgot what the heck they were fighting for.
From Russia.
Even I forgot too at some point. I was like, damn, I really don't remember what they were fighting about.
Spy.
But I might have to go
Mayor
back
West
into those old
crazy.
episodes and try
Mayor
to
West
see
has
what it
always
was
been a
again.
strange
Or maybe I just
paranoid
might Google
character,
it.
believing that a group of people are always following him. He does illogical stuff and acts crazy
The man is just
randomly throughout
crazy.
the series. He's the outcast of the city, but somehow he is still mayor. Definitely one of my favorite characters in the series, though.
He's just a crazy mayor, man.
Chris
That's all.
is not human. This may be related to a cutaway scene depicting Chris as an alien for a bit, but I'm not entirely sure. That aside, there's also a cutaway scene in which Meg is portrayed as an alien, which is pretty creepy to me.
The depths.
They represented the 7 deadly sins. This one explains itself, and I'll go over how each character represents the 7 deadly sins.
Oh, hello guys, somebody's calling me. All right, I'm back. That was just it was my pops calling me. I had to pick up that important call for him. So let's go ahead and continue watching.
Ernie the giant chicken represents wrath. Stewie is supposed to represent greed. Chris represents sloth. Tom Tucker represents pride. Quagmire represents lust. Brian represents envy. And Peter represents gluttony.
Oh yeah, because the way how
Baba
he is.
Booey.
Baba Booey.
This is just referencing a scene in which Peter says Baba Booey, a saying that I might add has become popular on TikTok recently. Take a look.
Baba Booey, Howard Stern's penis, Baba Booey, Baba Booey.
What the?
Peter is a literal psychopath. The first season of Family Guy displays an incompetent dad who was prone to mistakes, but usually means well towards his family. But as the seasons have progressed, we begin to see a complete change in his character, almost going out of his way to make sketchy decisions. Like when he's trying to get married to his son for an inheritance, and he's also seen blowing up hospitals and pimping out his wife and daughter in random sketches. He's constantly stripping nude and getting drunk.
Oh my god.
Though most think it's just gotten more wilder
Like,
over
Peter
the
is
years,
crazy, but
some believe that it's truly part
okay,
of
yeah,
his
he's just
character
technically
development.
crazy, man.
Baby Gone Wild.
Peter
I
B.
have no
Peter
idea
B.
what
is
this
on the
referring
world.
to. I'm searching it up on Google right now and YouTube, but all I'm getting back is strange YouTube videos. If you know anything about this, leave a comment, I guess. Peter knows about Herbert's obsession with Chris. So if you don't know, Herbert is basically the neighborhood pervert, being creepy towards anyone younger than 18. He for some reason really likes Chris and is constantly trying to get with him, with Chris being unaware of his advances. This entry proposes the idea that Peter knows about Herbert's attraction to Chris, which I couldn't find much about other than a clip of Chris and Peter fighting over Mr. Herbert's affection, still being oblivious to his pedophilic behavior.
The Abyss. Everyone died after season 5. Mega suicide?
Everyone died after season 5. This legitimately could just be a meme placed in here to make the Abyss sound creepier, or I'm just completely oblivious. But I couldn't find anything on this. The last episode of season 5 was the episode Meet the Quagmires, but that episode
I
remember that. Goes back in time in order to live
when
the
Lewis
single life
and
for a little bit longer before he meets his future wife, which we know now as Lois. This causes Quagmire to make his own move on Lois, and they ultimately end up marrying and having children. Peter is then horrified by this alternative timeline and resolves it by trying to go back in time and set things right. The episode ends normally, kind of, because there's a brief cameo of someone you might know, though some people have noticed that the characteristics in the cast changed after season 5 and found it a little bit strange. Meg's suicide. This entry is in reference to a brief bit in an episode in which Peter puts Dewey to bed and makes sure everyone's safe asleep. That is until he gets to Meg's room.
Yeah, there he is.
And we'll watch this.
Oh, snap. I don't think I've seen this one.
Good night, Chris.
Herbert.
Good night, Meg.
Or maybe I have seen it.
It's a pretty dark joke, even for Family Guy.
I've seen it.
The Seinfeld Paradox. This one literally has nothing to do with Family Guy, but so far this is my favorite entry. I mean, watch it yourself. It's a pretty trippy video and the music is great. Though it may be poking fun about the Family Guy series, saying that basically the show's about nothing and mainly just filler. Quahog is a black ethno-state. According to Wikipedia, black nationalism is a type of nationalism or pan-nationalism which espouses the belief that black nationalist activism revolves around social, political, and economic empowerment of black communities and people, especially to resist assimilation into white culture. I don't know how this entry has anything to do with Family Guy, because I couldn't find any evidence of this, and I feel like this iceberg is spiraling out of control at the moment. Though
much.
We have some interesting entries coming up.
Below the Abyss. Do you think that they're all in hell?
They're all in hell. This might be relating to all the times hell is mentioned in the show. What the hell is kind of a catchphrase at this point. There's also this one unsettling scene. FYI, don't watch this at night.
And get some rest.
Damn. Got a little gremlin. Yo, I don't even think I ever saw that episode. Oh my gosh. Yo, I gotta watch that episode. What the heck? I'm
this
so
scene
watching
has to be
that.
the creepiest animation I've seen in a while. The original plot, do not research. Well, you know what, I did, and it's not that bad. The Life of Larry and Steve are two animated short films created by Seth MacFarlane in the mid-1990s that eventually led to the development of the animated sitcom Family Guy as we know today. MacFarlane originally created The Life of Larry as a thesis film in 1995 while studying at the Rhode Island School of Design. The animation was completely different, though I enjoyed it, and I definitely think it was harder to animate back then. Seth MacFarlane is based. You know what, this isn't even a theory or anything, but I agree Seth MacFarlane is based, and I love all his productions.
Bro, you replacing most of the characters, so.
This is a video right here on YouTube. If you read the description, it says every copy of the Family Guy video game is personalized, which is a meme among icebergs, if you don't know.
The Pit. Brian's the second coming of Christ. Oh.
Joe can actually walk. This is referencing the multiple times in the series where Joe is seen walking and not sitting on his wheelchair as he usually does, portrayed as a paraplegic in the show. Brian is the second coming of Christ. I don't want to offend anyone, but there's a cutscene in one of the episodes in which Peter says, "I've been looking forward to this moment more than the second coming of Jesus." And a cutscene occurs, depicting a short Jesus with a voice similar to that of Brian's voice. Also to note that he's around the same height as Brian himself, though this might also just be a joke entry.
Yeah,
Peter is the CEO of Hot Wheels. This theory might come from the fact that Peter Griffin is really into Hot Wheels for some reason, having his own Hot Wheel collection, though there's really not much there. Every episode of Family Guy is personalized. This one's clearly a joke and based off of the multiple iceberg entries where they put every episode of so-and-so is personalized, or every video game copy of so-and-so is personalized at the bottom of the iceberg. It's all in Stewie's imagination. This is referencing the theory that everything in the show, from the most wild scenes to the most mundane things, are all part of Stewie's imagination, being that he is only a toddler. He interprets the world from his limited knowledge, explaining why dogs can talk in the show. It also explains how he can only communicate with other toddlers and dogs, but not with older humans, as well as his elaborate laboratories he has and science experiments he conducts. The entire show seen through Stewie's perspective. Though there are things that contradict this theory, and it's only a theory. Subscribe and like the video if you enjoyed.
Like a
I'm currently working on some really interesting iceberg videos, and would love for people to see them.
Doesn't understand, which is kind of weird.
Later.
All right, later, man. Woo. Interesting iceberg video on the Family Guy. All right, Biggs, I hope you're happy, man. I gave you an iceberg video, all right? So relax. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. It's been your boy, JX. Take care and peace.
Well, I think you're pretty great.